so here we have my little Mini Moon book kits. Here's a prototype I made earlier of what the little book looks like, with its spine, its cover, back, and then inside all of these pages. Now I've been back into my files that I've designed, and I've amended a couple of the issues that I came across when I was making the prototype. So we're ready to go now and make an actual finished book. This is what you get in the kit. These are two of the covers. Excuse me. And next we have another cover and lots of these little tags here. And then we have the inside pages, so you can make a total of 3 different books in this kit. There's one of the sets of pages, another of the sets of pages, and another of the sets of pages. Right, this is the last one I made up, so for a change, I think I'm going to make up this one. Now this one I've already pre-scored, but I'll show you what I did there. I've got my little trimmer machine. I've got 2 of these. I absolutely love them for this small scale stuff. This one has got a scoring blade in it, so it's not sharp. So I'm putting this in, and I'm just lining up with this wire. This is why I like these, because you can be so accurate with it. Line up the wire to where you know you need to score. Do your scoring. I've actually scored in the middle here, which I wouldn't do again. I'd just go to these lines that I know, where I can see that they change here, and I'd score those and leave these middle sections. You can easily fold those by hand. This is printed on 110 gram paper, matte paper. I always prefer a matte paper. I love the finish of it. A shiny paper, a glossy photo paper. I find it cracks when you fold it, and I don't like the look of it or the feel of it. It feels a bit sticky. So right now we can go ahead and we can cut out these pages, line them up. On my paper cutter I need a new blade in here, but I've rearranged my room and I can't find them, so my blade is a little bit blunt. Trim that page down. Now when I'm designing these files, I always try and line everything up as far as I possibly can, so that you can have a look and see how can I get the job done without making a lot of fiddly cuts. I appreciate that fussy cutting is an absolute joy to some, and it isn't to me. So there we go. There's one set of 3 pages, and we'll fold those in a minute to make up the book. We'll just cut these out. Again, lining up. I do use these guides, but I prefer to work by eye. I find it, I trust my eye more than I trust a straight line, or a supposed straight line. There we go. So that's these pages cut out. I think we'll put those to one side for a moment, and we'll go to the covers and we'll cut out. I haven't scored the covers, so we'll do that. I've got my little scoring doof. There we go. Now then, which one should we go for? I did this one last time. I love that cover. It's my favourite cover. Maybe I'll go for this one this time, just for a change. That isn't long enough for that, is it? So I'll have to trim this down first. Just do that by eye. We'll trim down these edges while we're there. So listen to that blunt blade getting stuck. There we go. Right, now we'll take this and score it. And we're going to score it everywhere you can see these solid lines. So we're going to score it here, along the spine, both sides, and there. So we'll line that up. Sometimes it's useful to get this thing out of the way so you can line it up properly. If you're using a thick card, I'd always recommend scoring. This is thicker. This is 300 gram card. I'm not sure how that translates to US sizes, but a quick Google will sort that out. Right, now we're going to fold our cover. So we're going to start by folding in this. This then becomes the inside of the book. Then we can just fold our spine. This thrills me. I absolutely love the way this looks. It looks much better than I actually thought it was going to. And now, of course, because we've got this double thickness here, we've actually got a 600 gram book. And when we glue that together, that is going to be so nice and sturdy. And there we've got the spine. Now, I could ink this first, couldn't I? Or shall I ink it afterwards? Let's glue it all together. I'm not too concerned for the purposes of the video about all the inking, but I would do that. What you could also do as well is that you could just glue on 3 sides here and allow yourself a little tuck spot at the top there for some of these little tags that come with the kit. Okay, but I'm not going to do that for the purpose of this video because I want to glue this together and make it really nice and solid. I'll talk to you a little bit about the glue I choose to use at some point in the video. Which I absolutely love. I'll stick that side down here. Look at that. I've got a folding bone somewhere, but I do like to use my nail. I'm a very hands-on kind of tatty crafter. You know, when I started to do this video, before I came to do this video, I was thinking, oh, my nails are a mess. I've been out in the garden, I've been painting, you know, and then I thought, oh, Emma, just get on with it because it's who I am. I'm a tatty kind of crafter. I've got cobwebs in the corners. I've got dead flies on the windowsill. I've got cat fur everywhere. And as much as part of me would like to be really pristine and manicured and have lovely nails, that isn't how I roll. So there we go. Look, there's the cover. How good's that? It's feeling really sturdy already. When this glue dries, it'll be really quite solid. I love this glue and I love this way of applying it. This is a soft bottle with a fine needle tip. I think these are sold for e-juice, for vaping. But I just love, I keep it quite full, and the reason I like a small bottle is that I'm not squeezing out loads of air before I get to my glue, and with it having such a fine tip, I can go right up to the edges or very close to the edges, and I don't have to do this anymore. I used to do this to get my glue up to the edges, and I'd always have sticky fingers, and I didn't like the way that felt. And this is the glue that I've settled on. After lots of experimenting with different things, this is the one I absolutely love. It's an alcohol-based glue, so it smells a little bit like a permanent marker, like a Sharpie pen, but it's not overpowering at all. It's not overwhelming, and especially when you're using such a fine tip. So that's my recommendation for glue. Now we've got our book cover. I think I'll just ink in. I'll ink our edges, get rid of those white edges. I could go in and trim there if I wanted to, but I don't think I will. I could do those spine edges, I suppose. Shall I? Go on, we'll do one just to see what it looks like. Not a lot different, but there we are. That's done. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Just get rid of. Sometimes the the paper stretches. You get a little bit of white of the fibres showing through, so that'll get rid of that. Right, what next? Next, we've got our scored sheets. Now this particular set of pages is my Moon Magick set in miniature. I really like that set. Now then, which page shall I put first? I think I will go... which page shall I have last as well? I think I might go this page first, and I think I might go this page last. Yeah, I'll do it like that. So we're going to begin. This first page is going to get glued onto the inside cover. Now I've scored the main pages. I haven't scored in the middles here because sometimes in the middles you can't quite be sure that you're getting it in the right place. So I found it's better to just do these main ones. I think I've done this one anyway. Yeah, do these main ones and then go in and do the other ones by hand. With it being thin paper, it's easy enough to fold. So that one's creasing that way. So I can go in and I can do this one now. And then that gives me the basis for all the rest. That one's scored. Look, we're slightly off there. That'll be me. On the computer, they're absolutely, the files that I've generated are absolutely spot on. But I am such a slapdash crafter. Which is quite useful for you, because if you're slapdash, you can see just what you can get away with and it still looks great. If you're immaculate and you get everything bob on, then, you know, yay for you, great. I admire you. So then we've got our first set of pages. So then we're going to fold the next set of pages. This one is going to glue onto the back here. So we know that's going to come like that. So these are all going to fold outwards like that. In origami, that's called a mountain fold, and this one in the middle here is called a valley fold. Oh, this is quite a neat trick, a neat way of doing it, isn't it? Do that middle one, and then fold that one up to the edge. That one's been scored, look at that. And I'll squash that down with my bone folder or my nail. So that sticks the right way up. That goes that way like that. There we go. So we're getting there. And then the last set of pages, that's going to glue there. So that one will fold inwards. This one folds outwards. That one folds outwards in our mountain folds. And then I like this way of doing it. Look, and then you can just pop those two together. Know that all your outside edges of your pages are going to be in the right places. Getting that lined up's a bit trickier. There we go. Look at that, I've got one of those pages off again. Never mind. One of the things I love about junk journaling is just how scruffy you can be. I'm naturally scruffy, so it suits me very, very well. Look at this, what's gone on here. Another bit of, it's a me special, that is, but never mind. We're going to see that this is going to look fantastic when we're done, and we're not going to care that some of our pages are off. Like I say, the files on the, you can see, the files that I've generated, that I've designed, are all absolutely immaculate. They're all spot on. You're not going to have any problems. This is just me being my haphazard self, which I enjoy and embrace. So, you know, hooray. So I think that's our first set of pages, isn't it? And I think that's our second set of pages. And no, that's wrong. Let's lay these out. This was going to be, I can't remember what I said. Not that it matters. This was going to be my first page there. This was going to be my second page. So I've got all my busy stuff going on in the middle. And then this was going to be my last page. But you can do absolutely whatever you want. So I think I'll start by gluing these pages together so I don't confuse myself. Now then, because when we put this together, you'll see on this prototype that I made over here, the actual book, when it's put together, isn't as thick as this spine. And I've done that on purpose, because if you want to make tuck spots or pockets or whatever you might want to make, you're going to need some room in there. Okay, so we need a way of setting those pages in so that they've got room to move. And the way that you can do that very simply is, don't glue right to the edge here. Give this a little bit of space. Glue to about there. And then come round and glue these pages together. There we go. See this narrow needle tip? Excuse me, if you're not using one of these, saves you having to do all of this and have a gluey finger all the time. So we'll glue these pages together like this. Our ink obviously at the end is going to cover up all our edges. So then we've got those 2 pages glued together. And we'll do the same with these 2 pages. Like this, make sure we've got everything the right way up. And we'll allow a bit of space here for all the pages near the end, near the spine, to move. Look at my cutting here. Look at that's diabolical. How fantastic. Even when I try to be neat, I can't be neat. There we go. So now we can fold all of this together now. And this is our book. So do you see what I mean? Some of these pages are way off. Look at that. I might refold these last couple of pages actually. That one. Look how that's sticking out there, and that one. I went wrong there, and that had a knock-on effect to the rest. That's because I scored it without really knowing where the line was. So sometimes doing it not scoring is good. So we'll try and sort that out now. That's going from the sublime to the ridiculous here. There we go, that'll do. That'll do. Right, so you'll see that the spine of the actual cover is much thicker than we need. So we need to give that the wiggle room. So that's what we do when we glue our pages together and give them a little bit of space. You see that and pull apart quite nicely without it putting any strain on the glue or the pages. So now we can go ahead and glue our pages together. So we'll start with that one. Now, if you want to make a tuck spot for any of these little tags or any of your own things, you can go ahead and do so. Because you need to allow space for these spine edges to breathe, I wouldn't recommend doing a tuck spot on every page unless it's going to be a bit of a narrower tuck spot. So we'll go ahead and we'll make a full pocket out of this page. Glue like that and fold it down onto its neighbour. There we are. There we've got our first page glued, and we've got our little space there for the tuck spot. Then we'll do a few pages with no tuck spot. So we're going to, remember, we're going to go like this, allow some space for that spine to breathe. So we're not going right to the edge here. And that's the spine edge, you can see. Okay, this page is already glued together. So another way we can do that is we can go like this and have a look to see what's going on. Right, and we'll go, which is the spine edge. Right, that's our spine here. Oh, well, we can see because we've got this going on now, haven't we? So I can go right to the edge here, here, allow a bit of breathing room there, and glue that together. Stick the next one down like that. Okay, so we see our pages coming together. This one, let's have a tuck spot. So we'll go right to the edge here and glue our page down. Looking good, looking good. I haven't inked my edges. We'll do that at the end, which is a good idea so that we can go over all these top edges. So we didn't have a tuck spot in the last one. Let's have a tuck spot here. I don't know quite how many tuck spots I can get away with and still allow enough room. Oh, look at that. That's not very good. Let's see what we can do there. That's going to stick, isn't it? I wasn't careful enough there. Well, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Allow some breathing room here. spine to breathe there, and we'll go all the way around and glue here. And that's it, that's our book assembled. I'll stick it all down nicely. And you can see, even though I've been really slapdash about it all and tatty, it's still going to come together absolutely beautifully. I won't pull those pages apart just yet, we'll just give it a moment to dry. This glue is really fast setting, it's fantastic. So then, when we think our glue is dried a little bit, I don't need to give this very long, we can go ahead and stick the pages in our book. Now to do that, with the cover, we're going to flatten this down. We're going to put this over here like this. We're going to see where it naturally sits. There we go. We're just going to eyeball this a bit. So I'm going to go ahead now and glue. I could have a tuck spotted here, I guess. No, I wouldn't want to do that, I don't think. I want the strength of the glue all around the edges on the front and the back cover. So I'm just going to take this, line it up. Actually, it might be easier to do it this way around. That's clever. That's a smart way to do it, isn't it? And glue this down in the middle like this. Open it up to see if it's happy. Slide it along a little bit, maybe. Now, whilst we've still got that glue wet at the front, we're going to stretch this back cover out and we're going to glue that down as well. So we've still got a little bit of wiggle room and a bit of time to shimmy it about a little bit if that's what needs to happen. Cat hairs you get for free. So I'm just going to stretch that out, line it up with the back there, and glue that in nice and straight. There we go, I'm happy with that, I think. I'll glue that, sit that in, wiggle it about a bit, make sure it's happy. That front page isn't overly happy, is it? But I'm guessing that's going to be good. That could do with coming out a little bit. If it will just about. There we go, that's happy. And I can glue that, stick that down now. So you can see now we've got the space here where these pages are all going to sit quite happily and not pull each other about when you open the book. And you've got space in there for anything that you might like to add. You could make some little pockets and, you know, utilise these little tags. I've got a little tag here that I cut out earlier. Where did I make the tuck spot? In the first page? Yes, I did, in the first page. So that will just tuck in there quite nicely. It's a bit stiff because it's new. There we go. And what we want to be able to do, that's quite important, we need to check to see if that's happening for us, is we need to be able to open all of these pages in a waterfall-y kind of fashion. And yeah, we're doing that. I think we're doing that fine. Have I got a page stuck together here? Yes, I have. So I think maybe this page is struggling a little, but that will open. I think they just need encouraging when you first make the book. There we go. This one is not happy. I think that's about as good as we're going to get there. No, that will go. That will go. I think they just need helping along each page when you first make your book. There we go. That's happy now, isn't it? And that's why it's important not to glue the pages together right up to the spine. Allow that bit of wiggle room, and then you've got the space to do that. And that's now sitting very happily. So there we are. One little book made. And I can go in now and I can ink all those edges, get rid of these white edges. quite how I'm going to do this, I'm not too sure. Do you know, I might do it all together. Don't need to do it so much on these. Wonder if I can fold that out of the way. Look at that. There we go. I could take a little bit more care and go right into those edges, I guess. I've seen people actually use a Sharpie just to go in and do those fine little bits if you want to do each individual page. You can do. And do you know why you can do? Because you didn't glue right up to the spine. So your pages in your little book are really nice and flexible. And you can do that to your heart's content. I'm not going to do it for the video. So there we are. One little book. Here's the other one that was the prototype. And what a cute, cute little set they make, don't they? I'm really pleased with them. Really pleased. There we go. That was the prototype. And this is the finished book. Let us take a moment to appreciate the little book. Look. Tiny, tiny little pictures of moons. I can't act. Oh, I can read that just with my glasses on. I'll have to get a magnifying glass and see how sharp that actually is, but I bet you can read it. And there we go. One very happy little moon book. And you can go ahead and trim these down and put these in and use them as you want. Even, you know, adapt some of these pages to make little pockets to put in for these tags if you want to. There we are. I hope you liked that. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun.